Assalamu alaikum students, how are you all? I hope that you have enjoyed the last two chapters we have taught in the social studies. Now the new lesson that we are going to start is Golden Age of Islam. In this chapter you will learn about the Golden Age of Islam and its many developments, about Islamic achievements in science, about Islamic achievements in the field of arts, and about the famous early European travelers and explorers. Okay, the achievement in the early Islamic world. The time from the 8th to the 11th centuries is known as the Golden Age of Islam. Why? Because during these centuries, Islamic culture flourished throughout the Muslim world, and Muslim scientists have explored new field of science and in the field of arts. Alright students, now I'm going to tell you how the House of Wisdom had started. The Abbasi Khalifa oversaw the golden age of Islam. They learned about the accomplishment of Muslim scholars in art, literature, science, medicine, and mathematics during this time. As you can see, the books which are on Islamic manuscripts were written in calligraphy and illuminated. Manuscripts are a book which were written by hand and they were illuminated by the light. Now, how the Islam spread in the Arabian Peninsula. Islam began in the Arabian Peninsula in 610 and spread quickly through conquest and conversion. Do you know what is the meaning of conquest? Conquest, a territory which has been subjected by the military force, and conversion means the changing of one's religion or belief or the action of persuading someone else to change theirs. So, Muslim control on empire stretching from Spain to China. The Abbasi Caliph gained control in 750 and moved the empire capital from Damascus to Baghdad. During this dynasty, trade and ideas flowed freely across the empire, which spanned 3 continents. The Abbasis appropriated many of the best ideas from lands they conquered, as well as those of late antiquity, to form an advanced Islamic culture, with participation and contribution from people of many ethnicities and religion. They have done the development in art and literature as well. Islamic religious tradition discouraged the depiction of human figures in religious arts. So Muslim artists developed or adopted many unique decorative elements. The art of glass blowing was perfected. Miniature were often written in calligraphy. Do you know what is miniature? Miniature is an art of painting in little, is a genre that focuses on art. And painstaking illuminated means diligent care with the effort and careful with brighten with light. Royal robes and other textiles features lavish embroidery. But the golden age of Islam is especially well known for architecture, which combines many of these other art forms as well. Now you can see the picture of the Dome of the Rock, which is in Jerusalem. What is the Dome of the Rock? Islamic buildings of this era borrow domes and arches from the Byzantine Empire and adorned with calligraphy, geometrical design, and obsequies. A good example is the Dome of the Rock in Jerusalem. It is a religious monument and a display of grandeur. Its outer walls were originally tiled, as seen in a modern restoration. The exterior of the dome was once lead and was replaced by varying metals throughout time. Today, the dome is covered in gold leaf. The interior of the dome is decorated with mosaics and calligraphy. Not only in the art of architecture, as you can see, the library of the House of Wisdom, which is full of so many books, which is not related only to the manuscripture, not only to the architecture, but it has done the development in the literary achievement as well. The Golden Age also produced many literary achievements. After learning the Chinese art of paper making, Islamic scholars tried to gather and translate all the world's knowledge into Arabic, resulting in the preservation of many classical works of antiquity from China, India, and Greece, including Aristotle and Plato. Muslim writers also made commentaries, adopted folk tales from around the empire, and composed original literature. The most famous literary achievement from that era may be 1001 Nights and the Arabian Nights. You can see both the books in the presentation. It is a collection of both original and adopted stories, including Aladdin and the Magic Lamp, Sinbad and Ali Baba. Libraries and bookstores were common in Baghdad, suggesting an uncommonly high literacy rate among the people. Now, the groom in the science and medicine during that era. Scholars at the Islamic learning centers also contributed to the scientific world as well. They dabbed in the chemistry and alchemy and excelled in the astronomy and medicine. They studied ideas from Greece, Iran, and Persia to improve scientific instruments such as an astrolabe for telling time. They refined earlier methods for recording scientific observation, leading to accurate calculations for the movement of the sun, moon, and the five known planets. Islamic scholars analyze model of the universe as well. They studied eclipses and calculated circumference of the earth. You can see the picture of the Canon of Medicine, which was used as a medical text in Europe for centuries. Now, as you can see in the picture, Baghdad was known as the intellectual powerhouse because so many intelligent peoples were living there, doing the exploring, doing the researches at that time in every and each field. So it was known as the people of intelligence and the intellectual powerhouse. As one of the biggest and the richest cities at that time, Baghdad had wealth that went far beyond the money. For more than 2 centuries, it was home to the House of Wisdom, an academy of knowledge that attracted brains from far and wide. From mathematics, astronomy to zoology, the academy was a major center of research throughout and debate in the Muslim civilization. Now, what is the extension of House of Wisdom? As the people were very intellectual living there, so in the House of Wisdom was initially built by Khalif Harun Rashid as a magnificent library named Khazanatul Hikmah that included manuscripts and books collected by his father and grandfather about various subjects in the arts and sciences and in different languages. 3 decades later, the collection had grown so large that his son Khalif al-Mamun built extension to the original building, turning it to a large academy named Baitul Hikmah, with that housed different branches of knowledge. Later, he added numerous other study centers and allowed more scholars to pursue their research and an observatory in 829. In the House of Wisdom, translators, scientists, scribes, authors, men of letters, writers, copywriters, and others used to meet every day for the translation, reading, writing, scribing, discouraging, dialogue, and discussion. Many manuscripts and books in various scientific subjects and philosophical concepts and ideas in different languages were translated there. People from all over the Muslim world, civilization, flocked to the House of Wisdom, not only men but female also. Among the academy leading lights were Al-Kindi, who commissioned the translation of Aristotle, and Hunayn ibn Ishaq, who translate Hippocrates. Other names are also associated with the House of Wisdom: Banu Musa bin Shakir, Al-Munajjim, Yahya bin Abi Mansur al-Munajjim, al-Mamuni, Muhammad bin Musa al-Khwarizmi, Said bin Harun al-Khatib, Hunayn bin Ishaq al-Ibadi and his son Ishaq, Tahbit bin Qurra, and Umar ibn Fakhran al-Tibar. There were a wide range of languages including Arabic, Farsi, Hebrew, Syriac, Greek and Latin were spoken and read at the House of Wisdom. Now, what was the influence of House of Wisdom? As I told you, the people far away from the civilization, Muslim civilization, were encouraged to go to House of Wisdom to get the knowledge. The successful knowledge transfer and the creation of center learning in Baghdad was echoed in many other cities. In Cairo, a Darul Hikmah was built by Khalif al-Hakim and lasted for 165 years. Other cities in the eastern provinces of the Muslim civilization also established House of Science, or more accurately houses of knowledge, in the 9th and 10th centuries to emulate that of Baghdad. And so children, now I think you have a clear picture of House of Wisdom and the golden age of Islam, that how the Muslim scientists had created advancement in every field. I hope you will understand very well. So that's all for today. Thank you.